Hey guys, this is Chris Ritchie, and here we are with another video. This time we're going to be taking a look at Ableton 10 Max for Live, or Ableton 10 Suite, and the Max for Live package that's built with it. So if you purchase Ableton 10 and you get the Suite version, then you end up getting Max for Live with it. And Max for Live includes a bunch of instruments and effects and different things like that that you get to that are a little bit out of your usual use, and they included some drum synths, and those drum synths actually sound really good. So we're going to take a look at those, but just to touch on what you get with Ableton 10 that you didn't have before is that Max for Live is now a built-in core component of Ableton. It is not, in the past you had to install a separate installer. This time you don't. It is actually a part of Max for Live, or a part of Ableton. So when you install Ableton, you get Max for Live already. And once you have Suite, it gets unlocked, and then you can actually start using the tools and the effects and the instruments that all run in Max for Live. What does that mean? Well, when you have it as embedded as a core component, that actually can help them to make it more stable, and all of your instruments and patches actually load faster. And it seems to be performing a lot better now that it's embedded inside Ableton. So when you load Ableton, Max for Live is already running in the background. It's not like before where you would load the first Max for Live instrument that you would load in your set would actually kind of bring everything slowing down a little bit until that loads, and now it just loads with it. So let's take a look at these drum synths. So in your core pack that comes with Ableton, they're already installed. So it comes with a drum rack ready for you to start using. And we're just going to take a listen and see what we can do with them. So you can see here on the push that everything, all the parameters are right there. The parameters for the first instrument show up. So we have a kick, snare, clap, tom, hi-hat, and different hi-hats. And then there's a FM synth that you can use for percussion. And you can really tweak that out, because if you go look at this other FM synth, that's the same drum synth, just it's been changed around. So we're going to change around some of these and see what they sound like as we keep playing with them. So to start, we got the kick. You can see that on the kick you can pitch it, and then it even has a little helper there to tell you what key that pitch is at. So if we wanted to pitch it at, say, A, you can do that. You can overdrive it. And then you can also adjust the harmonics, which are the overtones. You can adjust the envelope. And the attack. And then also the decay. And you can add a click, which kind of adds more of an attack to it. All right, and then we can take a look at the synth, or the snare. You can tune that. Let's put in a beat. And now we can adjust our clip. Bring down the decay a bit. Add a little bit of overdrive. You can really bring down the decay a lot. One of the fun things we could do with this is We can actually hold down on one of the steps, bring up the decay on one of them. We could pitch up one of the steps. And then you have your color. And the tone, which uses the filter to adjust the tone. And you can change the character of that by changing the filter. And I believe the color is kind of like a resonance. Yeah. Yeah, the color is kind of like your resonance. Alright, now let's have some fun and play with the FM synth. You can adjust the pitch, adjust the decay. And then we could do the same thing, is on a couple steps, adjust the decay a little bit. Okay, so we've got a clap here. And then we can use the new capture function and put those steps in that I just laid out. So you can hear how sloppy parameter, which we can see over here, changes how the claps hit together. And then you can change the stereo width of them with the spread. You can change the tone. And you can tune them also. And what we'll put on here is the new drum bus. Just to tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Go back to drum rack. Put some hi-hats in. You can adjust the similar, adjust the attack. Adjust the pitch and the decay. So you can go from an open hi-hat all the way down to very closed hi-hat. And you can almost make it like a shaker. And change the tone of it, which also works kind of like a filter. You can change the noise model that you're using. So we could do similar things by messing with the adjusting the decay as we go through it. And we could also adjust the velocity on some of those steps. So now let's bring it back in with the beat. We can nudge a couple of the steps also. And you can see how it shows us right on the screen where those notes are. And now we'll play with some toms. And we can tighten up the decay on that. And the pitch. You can hear how the pitch bend can be adjusted with the bend. And same thing, we can pitch different steps. Also has a tone character that we can change, the color. Now that I'm hearing this, I think I want to add a little bit of crunch to it with the drum bus. We've already got a bit of drive on this, that's good. Okay, what else do we have? We can adjust more toms. You can see that they give us a bit of a setup that shows like a high tom and a low tom. But like I said, we could also just automate it on the step. So they give us a cymbal that can be used kind of like a ride. Could also be kind of used as like a noise sound. You tone it all the way down. Try something fun here. Let's try this. Let's add a compressor. And this is also new with the Ableton 10 is that you can see the actual compressor and how it's behaving on the push. So let's try something. Let's go into sidechain. And also new in Ableton 10, we can actually go in and adjust the sidechain right from here. We're going to put the kick as a sidechain on this cymbal. Turn it on. We'll go back to the main part. Turn up the ratio a bit. Bring down the threshold. we're going to record some automation here. Alright, so what else do we have? We covered the FM synth, we covered the toms, we covered the hi-hats, we covered the clap and the snare, the kick. We got one more in here. We got the sampler. So you can actually load samples into the drum synth and use some of the tools that are in there to shape it. So you can hear here that it's got a like rattle of some sort. You can adjust the decay, you can pitch it, and you can pitch it pretty high too, and pretty low. You can change the start position, the length, and on top of it you can loop it. So what we could do with that is we could actually have some fun and try to find a sample. Let's see here. These are some of the packs that are also included with the new version. But let's try to find something interesting. We got some voices. These are sounds. Let's go into samples, one shots. I haven't gotten to go through all these, so let's just try to find something quick. Vocal. Let's see what this is. Alright, so we can play around with this. Actually, I don't like that. Try this one. Alright, so we got this. So we can loop it. And it's going to go as long as the decay is. Alright, so we're going to put that up there on the 1. We're going to adjust the velocity. And this does react to the velocity, you can hear. Alright. We're going to play around with this. Also bring the velocity down here. Bring it up a little bit more. Try this out. Let's see how it works. I would normally do this on like a longer loop, but we could try it out. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then same thing, we could automate some of this. So let's double this. So that's a quick overview of what you can do with the new drum synths. I hope you find it interesting and helpful. If You can see here that already you've got a drum machine built into Ableton now with the Max for Live kits. And this is really useful for being creative and coming up with creative ways to make your drums sound a little different and make them your own. Like I was demonstrating, you want to try to automate them and do all sorts of different things like that, because that's what's really going to give it its own sound and vibe that makes it your own. So you can sculpt these into any way that you want and really have your own sound and style, and then save it as a kit, and then you can have it ready to go for the next track that you're ready to make. So I hope you found this helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned, because I'm going to have some more videos coming out highlighting the different things that we have now in Ableton 10 and that we can play with. Also play around with the drum bus, and I know I used it briefly in here, but you probably will have a video coming out just describing what the different techniques and different things do. So stay tuned. Thanks.